Hello. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech-language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I am here to help you learn to speak out exercises and also help you establish and maintain a consistent speak out home practice routine. I know it's challenging to do your speak out exercises every day, so hopefully these sessions are helping to keep it interesting. All right, before we get started, we need to smile with intent. So I'm going to hold this up and let's all give a big smile just for a second or two. Ready? And let's take a sip of water. We're going to be working out of the Speak Out e-library today. I like to show you different ways that you can use the e-library to work on your speech. Let's do our warm-ups. We'll get those out of the way. Lift your voice and speak out. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Very nice. Try to connect the sounds. We say we do them in cursive, so we don't want may, me, my. Connect the sounds. May, me, my, mo, moo. Be deliberate. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. And one more time, so really stretch out the vowels. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Very good. Let's take our sip of water. We are working with intent. Hopefully you have already signed into the chat where it says type in your nickname. Just put your first name and where you're from. No password, none of that needed. We're not tracking in for people with the chat. It's there to motivate you, for you to connect with some other people who are taking a proactive approach to managing Parkinson's. So go ahead, just put your first name and where you're from. Let's move on to speak out exercise number 2. Open your mouth wide and project that all forward. Ready? Good. We're trying to keep the sound clear and consistent. Let's do it again. Good. Let's do another one. Good. Let's go ahead and do a shorter ah. Good. And again. Good. Take a sip of water. I know a lot of people like the ahs. I don't want you to overdo it. I once treated somebody who, after the first day of speak out therapy, the next day he came back and he couldn't talk. His voice wouldn't come out. And I said, "What did you do yesterday for home practice?" And he said, "I did 100 ahs at 100 decibels. I'm like, oh my goodness. We had to put him on voice rest for a week. And you never want to produce these ahs. Don't even worry about using a sound level meter. If you are doing that, you would never go above 90 max, but you really don't. We learned during the pandemic, you don't need a sound level meter. Just learn to project your voice up and forward. Let's move on to the next exercise, the glides, probably the most challenging exercise for most people. Project out a steady ah first, so we're thinking about it, and then glide up. Ready? Ah. Ah. Good. So we are in control of our voice. Let's do it again. Good. Let's do it again. Good. Let's do one more. Good. Take a sip of water. If you attended the Parkinson sing-along yesterday, why don't you chat and tell everybody about it? I bet you enjoyed it, so we need to encourage more people to join in on those Thursday sing-alongs. There's nothing like it, I'm telling you. It is the best. Every Thursday, and if you missed it yesterday, we do keep the recording up for a week. So Sandy can post that link. You go to the sing-along page on our website and you'll see the recording from yesterday's, and you can use it all week to practice. All right, today is Friday. I like to do things a little bit differently. We're going to count to 10 forward and backward. When you get to the number 10, repeat it and then go backward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not easy. Let's this time just count to 5, forward and backward. I don't want you to think about the breathing. The goal is not to do all these numbers on one breath. You'll notice that I'm taking breaths as I'm doing this. You just focus on speaking out, and you will take the breath when you need it. Count to 5, forward and backward. Repeat the number 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take a sip of water with intent. I want to work out of the e-library today, but let's go ahead and do Dr. Boone's words first, and then the rest of the session we're going to work out of the Speak Out e-library. Each word twice, okay? Exaggerate the G's, the K's, and the NG's. We're trying to get the back of the tongue to go up higher and hit the roof of the mouth. Ready? Gula ganga ga. Again. Gula ganga ga. And the next one. Ku ka mangu ka. Ku ka mangu ka. Ready? Gangla, gangla. And the last one. Kukla, kukla. Very good. Take a sip of water. As we are strengthening the muscles we're using for speaking and swallowing, we're taking care of our voice. All right, the Speak Out e-library. If you are working with a Speak Out provider, that's a speech language pathologist who has gone through our formal Speak Out training, then you have access, free access, to our Speak Out e-library. You gain access through your Speak Out provider. He or she is the one who will sign you up, and it's a great resource for improving your voice. There are workbooks in it, including the Speak Out Therapy Workbook, and then other workbooks. We've got playing cards, a book about USA, Out and About, which is places that you go out and about, and you go visit the bank, the post office, a restaurant, things like that. A great tongue twister book that is made up of tongue twisters that many of you sent in to us, and we put them together into a book. You've got Dr. Boone's Nonsense Words, math cards, conversation cards, word cards, photo cards. Today we're going to do the math cards. Now, I just clicked on it, and I'm going to make this full screen. What I want to make sure you understand is that even though this is very simple addition and subtraction, I don't want you to think of it as too elementary, okay? Because that's not the purpose. We know that you know how to add and subtract. What we're doing is making sure we are speaking out, and when we give the answer, we're not trailing off. So let's say this together. Ready? 2 plus 2 equals 4. Are you able to control your speech so that you're not rushing it? It's not 2 plus 2. Okay, we're in control of it. Every word, every number with intent. Say it again. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay? Now, I want you to change the sign. I don't want you to do addition. You change it and say another equation, like 2 times 2, 2 divided by 2, 2 minus 2. Go ahead and say it with intent. Okay, let's do the next one together. 3 plus 8 equals 11. Again, don't trail off. 3 plus 8 equals 11. Good. Now change the sign, okay, and still keep control over it. Change the sign, not addition anymore. Okay, let's make it multiplication, times. Okay, ready? 3 times 8 equals 24. Did you speak out the whole way? Try it again. 3 times 8 equals 24. And then what you can do is I want you to name 2 things that you could buy that would cost $24 each. Okay, think of 2 things that cost about $24 and say them with intent. All right, think of one of those items, all right, an item that costs about $24. Now, name 2 places where you can buy that item and really speak out. Do you see how you can take the e-library, the basic exercises? We're providing a stimulus for you, and then you can change it up to make it closer to real-life conversation. Let's read this equation together. We're in control. We're not trailing off. Ready? 4 plus 4 equals 8. Again. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Good. Now, change the sign and say the equation again. Good. Now let's make it multiplication times. Ready? 4 times 4 equals 16. Again. 4 times 4 equals 16. Now I want you to think of where you could go buy lunch for yourself for $16. Where would you go and what could you buy? All right. Now, I want you to give me directions from where you live to that restaurant where you're going to buy yourself lunch for about $16. Go ahead, give me directions, be very specific, and think about, like, I'm going to drive down Mulberry Lane and turn right. Give directions from your home to the restaurant. All right. Well, that's an example of how you can use the Speak Out Library, e-library, and many of my patients do the exercises online, like you're doing right now, and then later in the day, they will work with their spouse or with a friend, even one of their adult children, like on Zoom, even if they don't live in the same state, and they work in the e-library for only 15 minutes. I do recommend put a timer on. Do not do the extra practice for more than 15 minutes because it gets old really fast. But if you will do that, it will help you to be speaking with intent and conversation. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can download today's reading material, and it gives you other ideas for how you can use the e-library and other ways that you can practice your speech. So go ahead and look at that document. As you are learning how to speak and swallow with intent, my hope is that you will learn how to live with intent. Do everything with intent. It is so important to use intent when you have Parkinson's. Have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday. Thank you.